that.
Okay.
Had to let Dan sit down for a minute. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Relationship Talk with Beth Lee and
Dan IT guy.
yeah. So we're so glad that you're here on this fine Wednesday night. We've had better weather, so I'm very happy about that. It's actually been in the 30s. Yeah, it's melting the snow and the ice on our driveway, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll be able to actually get up the driveway. I have to give these bones to the dogs so they don't talk during our show.
Maybe if we're lucky.
Anyways, so welcome to everybody here. So glad that you guys could make it and join us today. Should be a pretty good show. We've got the link to our book in the comments section there, and you can always like or subscribe. We encourage you to like or subscribe to the show because it just helps us to reach more people. So if you know of anyone that might be struggling in their marriage, or maybe they're not struggling, they just want to come in and help other people that are struggling, we encourage you to just invite them to come in and see us, check us out. And don't forget, you can always pick up the book at your, I don't know if you can see it, on Amazon.
Obviously, that's the link up there.
Yes. And so we'd feel free to pick that up. And you can always email us too. We're going to put that up here. There you go. author.bethlee@gmail.com. We do answer all of the emails, so we'll answer them for you and get an answer if like, I don't know, any questions you might have or comments that you might have. Please be kind of comments. That's the only thing we ask.
Maybe don't wear a bra next time.
Or that. So last week we celebrated my birthday. This is 52 right here. 52. And
52.
I caught up with him.
As
so
well.
Yeah, it's a little sad. I actually caught up to Dan IT guy. He's a month and a half older than I am, so I caught up. So we played a really fun game, Getting Deep. So if you liked watching us play that last week and joining in with your spouse at home, let us know that. And send us a comment, let us know, and maybe we'll play again sometime. That was really fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
So we like games like that. Yes. I'd love to play Scrabble, but Dan won't play Scrabble with me. So.
No, she's way too advanced for me.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Not true.
Well, we've played Scrabble. Don't let her fool you.
We have not. We played Words with Friends.
Yes.
That's different because you could look in a dictionary in between your turn and mine.
I did not look in a dictionary.
Neither did I.
I didn't have to.
Anyways, we also talked about the weather here and how shitty it's been and how it's
been cold.
It's pretty much imprisoned all of us here in the Northwest or the Midwest. Sorry, Northwest. God damn. The Midwest. Hey, Destroyer. And I got talking, last week about how in 9 or 10 months we should see some more babies around here because you all should be cuddling under those blankets and doing what we're going to talk about today, which is having sex. So just saying. But yeah, like this topic today is bored in the bedroom, spice up your sex life. So not that we're experts on that or anything, but it is pretty damn good. Yeah. I'll say that. We've been married for 16 years?
Yep. 16
and a half years, almost 17. Been together 17 officially.
Yes.
And known each other since we were 7. And I'd say it's better than ever. But then again, we don't have any kids in the house, so that helps.
Yes.
Helps a lot. But on a previous live, we kind of introduced the subject of sex and talked about how to get your relationship to a point where you can get into the bedroom. And so we talked a lot about communication and trust, respect, all of those different things. I have a wicked glare on my phone or on my glasses from that screen right there. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. But we basically talked about how to improve your communication, how to improve trust, respect, because I think the most important thing to a really good sex life is really good communication.
You got to have good communication. Yeah. you ain't gonna have good
Yeah,
sex.
and you
That's
have to be
just all
able to
there is
trust each other and respect each other in order to have any kind of relationship in the bedroom. So,
because you got to be able to share at some point things that you like and don't like.
right.
So you got to have good communication. Otherwise, yeah, you're not going to have good sex life.
Yeah, definitely. But so we kind of talked about how you move into the bedroom. So tonight we're going to talk more about what do you do when you get in there? What Pull the pants down. There you go. Whip it out.
There I am.
There it is. That's it.
You ever
seen a
one-eared elephant? Yeah, I can't show you.
Please don't. No, YouTube won't let us be on here anymore if
Right.
we do that. So now that you've talked about communication and trust and some of those other issues, is your sex life better? Is it, have you improved things a little bit? Have you kind of gotten the ball rolling a little bit, gotten both balls rolling? I don't know.
Maybe a tongue in the mix, just talking.
Have you improved things to the point where you're having sex more often? Are things better? How can you make things happen? How can you make things better? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. So we were playing that game last week, and one of the questions was, is there a difference between sex and love, or sex and making love?
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Making love is when you're really passionate with each other and you're in love. You know what I mean? You're in love, and you're doing more kissing and
Yeah.
grasping and holding and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You got the candles lit, you got romance, and
yeah.
Maybe it's your anniversary or Valentine's Day or some shit like that. And that's making love.
Yeah. And then there's having sex.
Yeah. Getting it on. Just going for it, fucking, and that that can be the really fun stuff. I mean, making love is great and everything.
Don't get me wrong.
That's awesome.
It has its place.
But there's times where you just want to fuck, and that's you just want to get it going. And
it is what it is.
So there's a big difference. There's a real big difference. I like the making love thing, but I know when we were raising the kids, there were a lot of times where it was like, okay, you got to try and slip it in between volleyball tournaments and homeschooling and you being out of work or out of town working. And you got to try and get that scheduled, and it's like, all right,
try and carve a little bit of time out that you can make that happen. Yeah.
Like, let's get upstairs and let's fuck real quick for 10 minutes or maybe an hour. I don't know, whatever. Because we don't have time any other time. We've got to make it happen right now. And, the great thing is, like some people's drive is different, and so throughout our marriage, our drives have been different, but like I've pretty much the whole time, I've pretty much had a high sex drive. But,
oh yeah.
Like yours is kind of fluctuated.
Mine isn't, it's kind of like,
but it's been higher lately.
Well, I mean, I make it higher.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my wife and I want to please her and I want her to feel good and I enjoy doing that. So,
I enjoy that a lot too. I'm not gonna lie.
Nothing wrong with a couple orgasms before you even have sex.
3 or 4. Hey, that's where it's at. I mean, just saying. And that kind of leads us into foreplay. Like, I think a lot of guys, and some girls too, I think a lot of guys think that foreplay is like physical stuff that you're doing, but most women are going to think that foreplay is, their idea of foreplay is more like throughout the day. Like, send your wife a text saying, I can't wait to be with you tonight. Or, make it a sweet text. Hey, I love you. I'm thinking about you. You can make it a dirty text. Hey, that sounds good too. Whatever you need to do, whatever you two are comfortable with. I know at different times we've sent dirty texts to each other.
Oh,
That's always fun, just to get that engine started a little earlier, and it makes you feel wanted throughout the whole day. So, if your spouse is sending you a text saying, hey, I can't wait to fuck you tonight, or I can't wait to whatever, you're feeling a little chased, you know, kind of like your dating days, you know, like like you both want it, you know.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing. I'm gonna have to end this show early. Touching each other throughout the day, just putting your hand on the other person,
Physical
or
touch.
you know, anything like that. I know that's your love language, so you always appreciate that.
I did want to talk a little bit about the difference with the way guys think and the way women think. And
Oh yeah,
don't get me wrong. I mean,
sorry.
I'm sure there's plenty of really enlightened guys out there that know how to think like a woman. Don't care. My point is, you know, especially in our relationship, I had to learn that it's important to start the day off with something sweet.
Yeah.
And then get flirty, because I have to have it laid out. I can't just go, okay, let's see, what can I do? No, that doesn't work. I have to have it. I have to have it in my brain. This is what I need to do. Otherwise, it will not happen, because I'm dyslexic, and when I get focused on something, it's really hard for me to peel my focus away from something to try to do something. And it's not fair to her, because that's what she needs. So somewhere in the middle there, you got to figure it out.
He actually asked me, like, please write down what you want me to do throughout the day. And I had said to him, it was a few years ago, I said, okay, I know that when you are working, you're very intent on working. You're very focused on that. If you could set an alarm for like noon to make a comment like, hey, this is what I'm thinking for tonight, you know, and just so that it's in my mind that, you know, instead of springing it on me at 8:30 at night, so you want to go upstairs and get it on? That's not enough time for me to like kind of get into the mood.
I mean, basically, foreplay to a guy is get me erect. That's what foreplay
Right.
is.
Stroke it a little bit and yeah.
Be nice to me and stroke it. We're
Right.
good.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works for women. Yeah.
Yeah. Women, like I said to Dan, it's, you know, he's a car guy. So I said, you know, it's like warming up your car before you take a drive in the wintertime. You know, you've got to let it warm up a little bit.
You got fuel injection. You don't have to warm it up anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
It's like a Tesla. You've got to plug it in and let it charge for 4 hours. There you
And then
go.
you only get 40% of the battery.
That's only when it's below freezing.
That's true.
Yeah. Below freezing, you might have to let it charge a little longer. Yeah. So take a little extra time and, you know, talk to each other. And that dog, I swear, we're going to open the door and let her run away. I don't know. That sounds good.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. He's going to put her in the house. That would be good. So just even talking to each other throughout the day, you know, sending those texts to each other, just letting each other know that this is what you're thinking for the night, you know, that's a really big help for the relationship. You know, touching each other throughout the day. She's hiding from you, I think.
Yeah. Come on. Go inside.
Problems with their dogs. You know, I thought once the kids moved out that we wouldn't have any issues with discipline or anything like that. But now we've got issues with the damn dog. So, so the other part of foreplay would be, it can be oral pleasure with each other. You know, that's always a good thing.
Yes.
Always a fun thing. If that's something that you're into, hey, go for it. That's always a good thing. I know a lot of guys like that. I know my guy likes that. So just doing something like that, adding toys, if that's something that you want to do. Take a visit to your local adult shop and see what they have there. You know, I remember the first time I went to an adult shop, I was recently divorced and excuse me, I was like 31 years old. Goodness gracious. got a frog in my throat. But I was recently divorced. I was 31 years old, and I went to this adult bookstore or adult store with two of my friends, and my friend said, "Well, I think you need a battery operated little friend to help out because you're not dating anybody right now, so I think that might help you." And I'm like, I don't know. I turned so many shades of red, like as red as my blanket is here. I think that's how red my face was. It was bad. And my friend Jen, she was so bad. She walked over to this wall of all these dildos and ended up putting or grabbing this like the largest big black cock that I've ever seen. She grabbed that and said, "Here you go. This is for you. I think you should take it home." And I'm like, am I supposed to use that as a baseball bat or something? Because I don't know where I put that.
Although if you did hit someone with that, they probably wouldn't come after you.
Probably not. I don't know. I can only imagine my mother walking into my room in my apartment and seeing that and going, "What the hell is that?" "It's for killing scorpions, Mom. That's what it's for." I don't know. I tried GI Joes, but she didn't like it. Yeah. I do have another funny story.
Yeah.
Same kind of timeline. You have to understand that
She was naive.
I was very naive. Like when I was growing up, I was very naive. I had 3 younger brothers, but I would hear them talking about different things, but I didn't really understand. I would laugh, but I didn't really understand what they were talking about. And then I'd hang out with these guys, and they'd be talking about stuff, and of course, I'd laugh, but didn't really understand what they were saying. But I was very naive, and so when I was in my 20s, I dated a lot of people, but I didn't do anything physical. I wasn't physical with anybody. So I get married to my first husband. He was very, very naive too. I think he was actually more naive than I was. And it was just very, let's just say it was very basic, very basic every time we were with each other. And I didn't know any different. That's just how I thought it was supposed to be.
And fumbles, push, and you're done.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, 3 minutes every time and same position, same time of the night. I mean, it was like, okay, that's how I thought it was supposed to be. I didn't know. So once I got divorced, I kind of went a little wild, and I was dating this one guy, and he asked me to give him a blowjob. I had heard the term, but I didn't really understand how that was done because I had never done that before. I was 31, 32 years old. I had no idea how to even do that. And so he pulls it out, and I'm like, "Well, what? I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing." And he goes, "You're give me a blowjob." And I'm like, "Okay." So I lean down and I blow on it. I thought that's what you were supposed to do.
Is this thing on?
I didn't know.
Why is it not getting hard?
He's laughing. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, "Isn't that what you're supposed to do? It's a blowjob. I don't know." And he starts laughing. He's like, "No, you're supposed to put it in your mouth." And I'm like, "You pee from that. I'm not putting it in. That's gross." Like, I eventually learned what I was supposed to do, and it was fine. It worked out fine. But yeah, that was not the right thing to be doing, apparently. I did try that with you one time, and you laughed your ass off.
Yeah.
I think you actually fell off the bed. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
I don't know. So visit a porn shop a sex shop, and see if there's anything that you like. They've got videos, they've got lingerie, they've got different kinds of toys. They even have games that you can play, like truth or dare cards. They've got like questions, question cards, all kinds of stuff. So that's always a fun place to just go check out.
Trying to remember the name of the Mitsubishi vibrator.
What?
The good one.
I don't
What's it
know.
called? The long one.
The wand.
The wand.
It's very good.
Yes.
Very, very good.
Yeah. That's
The thing with using toys is
fun.
you can have a lot of fun, you can experiment a lot, and you can play a little longer than you can when the person's just using their hand or their mouth or whatever. You can play a lot longer, and it's always a great idea, fellas, to get your woman to that orgasm 2 or 3 times before you do anything yourself.
Let's just go with one for now and work toward 2 to 3. If you're not experienced in it, that's where the communication comes in,
Yes.
because you do not know, other than just what she's giving you for feedback,
Mm-hmm.
whether this is working or not.
And don't have a communication about what you like and what you don't like in the middle of it.
No,
Like,
not
don't
so
throw
much.
out, well, I don't like that. It's tone of voice goes a long way. If you're going to have a conversation about what you like and what you don't like, try and have that conversation like maybe in the middle of the week when, you're not going to do anything for a couple of days, and talk about it. Have a conversation about, like, what do you like? Is there something I could do differently that would turn you on more, or something that that you've always wanted to try, and see where the conversation leads you, because we've had a lot of discussions about what we like, what we want to do, what we want to try. And there's things that we've said, hey, I want to try this, or this is my favorite position. And then we do that and we realize, hey, that's not my favorite position anymore. This is my favorite position now. Sideways. That's pretty damn good.
Sideways.
Yeah. But just back on topic, trying different things, but you want to make sure that you're talking about it in a safe way with one another. And I hate that kind of terminology, but you want to make sure that you want to make sure that your partner is going to be open to talking about that. They want to join our live, apparently. So try and have that conversation, like maybe outside of the bedroom, or maybe when you're not both naked and ready to go.
When you're not both completely vulnerable, pretty much.
Right.
Where you can talk about it and it's not such a big deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to play the game. Just to tell your partner, I need to hear, if you like something, I need to know, like, how much do you like this?
Yes.
I need to know, do you like this at all? And you got to kind
On a scale of 1 to 10.
because there are women that don't make any noise, and you got to go, okay, you need to make noise. And then there's women who you're like, okay, the kids are awake now.
I think I was a happy medium. I knew when the kids were around, it's like, okay, I got to try and keep my mouth shut and grab a towel and bite down on it or something. I don't know. But yeah, it was not so much the, completely quiet where you're like, are you awake still? Yeah. You never want somebody that you have to kind of nudge and say, are you still awake?
Did you just snore?
Apparently you don't like that. Is that boring you, or I don't know. I have a question.
Yeah.
Is porn okay? Is
Just
watching
depends
pornography
on
okay?
who you are and what you like and what you don't.
Yes. Yes.
It's something that you can utilize to, get each other going or whatever.
Something you can learn from. But if you're going to watch porn, please understand, not everything that they do on there is something that you're going to try in your bedroom. So please understand that. And those girls are pretty damn limber. They're a lot more limber than the average girl. you have to decide for yourself what you think is going to be okay and what is not okay in your bedroom.
Yeah.
So, and if you and your partner don't care for that, then don't watch it.
Yeah.
I don't mind watching it sometimes, and we watch it together sometimes. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I don't really care, but
Whatever gets the mood going.
right.
Yes.
You could role play. Dan's
Absolutely.
Dan's
I'm
not
a
really
role
big
player.
role player because, like, we were driving back from town, driving out to our house one day, and so we get into the car. I was driving, and we get in the car, and I looked over and I said, "So you're gonna come home with me, huh?" And Dan goes, "Well, yeah, I live there." And I'm like, "Well, I really hope my dogs are okay with you coming in. They don't really take to new people very often." And he goes, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Well, are you going to stay the whole night or are you going to leave after a while?" And he's like, what the hell are you talking about?" And I'm like, "God damn it, I'm trying to role play here. You're not helping very much."
And it's like, okay, well, that might be a good, starter. Hey, I'm going to role play here. That would be a good start.
I kind of thought that he would take the hint when I'm like, "So you coming home with me today? Because why wouldn't you?"
No, because I'm looking at you like, what?
Are you crazy? Am I in the right car
You mean to our house? Yeah.
with our dogs? Let me show you around the house. I already know where where the bedroom is. What the
I'm
hell?
looking at her like, are you okay?
It didn't go very well. I'll say that. I brought up like, "Hey, you can pick me up at a bar sometime," and he's like, "We don't drink. We don't go to bars. Like, why would we do that? Like, just to pick me up at a bar, you could do that." And he goes, "Why would I do that? I could pour you a drink at home." And I'm like, "It's fine. Don't worry about it." Yeah. You can talk about your fantasies together. And please remember that just because you talk about a fantasy doesn't mean that it's actually going to come true. It doesn't have to come true. Just because your wife says or your husband says, "Hey, whatever," doesn't mean it's actually going to happen.
Right.
That's just something that he thinks about, and that's something that just gets him going. Or
Yeah.
same thing with your wife. Do I actually think Channing Tatum is going to take me away? No. But hey, that's a great fantasy. Do I think he's going to come to my house and do a Magic Mike set out here in my living room? No. But I can still think about it.
A girl can dream.
Yes, I can. Channing. Oh, anyways. So fantasies are okay to have. Just, talk about them with each other. See if that gets you going. Hopefully you're not going to fight over them, but don't fight over them. It's okay.
I want to be on you.
I'm slacking at the wheel here.
You are. Yeah, but yeah, just fantasies don't have to come true. Now that's the great part of fantasies is that they don't come true. They
don't have to come true.
Right.
Yeah.
You can keep reliving them and they don't come true,
They don't
That's-
need to come true.
whatever. They don't
Yeah.
come true. That's a good thing though. But remember when you're talking about making changes with each other, remember to be kind to one another. Remember tone of voice is everything when you're talking about any kind of changes you want to make or anything being different. Instead of I don't like it when you do that. Instead of saying that, you could say, maybe we could try this instead. This might work a little better. It's all in how you talk to one another. So please be kind to one another. Understand that this is a person that you're gonna be having sex with or be making love to. And that's another thing. Have fun.
Yes.
Like if you're not laughing at some point in the bedroom, what the hell is the point?
Yeah.
It should be fun. It's not a job. Well, it is. A job could be part of it, but it's not. It's not supposed to be work. It's not supposed to be this.
Oh, it's work. Don't get me wrong.
It's a workout.
It is a workout.
Yes, but it's not supposed to be this serious thing where where you don't have any fun. It's supposed to be fun. Like that's the whole purpose of it, is fun and stress relieving. And that was something that it was like when we had the kids around, we would schedule the night because we're like, all right, we need to have some kind of,
That's just what worked best for us.
yeah, it worked best for us to schedule a night. Like,
And
okay,
that way we would avoid committing to anything
yeah.
in that period.
So it's like, okay, we're going to do this on Friday night. And, the girls are working. Mike is going here to this place. We're going to take some time between this time and this time. We've got time. And, and so we would schedule it. And so that worked out really well for us.
It did. It actually really did.
Except for when we were ordering those tofu chicken salads. That was bad.
Don't remind me.
That was bad. You have to watch what you're going to eat when you're scheduling it. You don't want anything really heavy. And
What was this? Salad and go? No. if you're allergic to soy, stay away.
well, you would eat the salad and then you would go, and that was bad.
Oh yeah, you would go all right.
Yeah, and it wasn't feasible for like.
You can't be dropping egg farts that make the paint peel off the wall and expect to want to have sex. No.
I want to be on you.
No. Yeah.
Maybe don't wear a bra next time.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
The scheduling it works 60% of the time, every time.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'd say it's more like 90.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. We just had to watch what we were going to eat.
Yep.
That was the only thing. That was the only thing. Just watch what you're going to eat.
The amount of food and the type of food.
Yeah. It got to the point where the kids were like, why do you guys only have salad or like a really light meal, like a sandwich or something on Friday nights? And we're like, don't worry about it.
Why is Dan only eating pineapple? I mean, that's not good for you.
Don't worry about it. Get the hell out of my house. We have things to do. We would tell them we have a lot of cleaning to do. So if you're here, you're going to have to do a lot of cleaning because we're going to do a massive cleanup job here after we get done. So no, the only time there was one time that we had the kids just, when you have kids around, sometimes they're a little thick-headed and they don't quite get the point that you're trying to make. And it was a Sunday afternoon and the kids were sitting there watching TV, and Dan had pulled me outside and he goes, hey, why don't we have the kids go down to the swimming pool, at the community center there, and we'll run upstairs for an hour or two. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. So I went downstairs and I'm like, hey girls, why don't you take Mike and go over to the pool? You guys can all go swimming for a little bit. And maybe Dan and I will come down there in a little while, but why don't you guys take him down there and go swimming for like an hour and a half, And they're like, I don't want to. Okay, well, why don't you go and let him swim and you can just put your feet in the water? I don't want to do that. I'm going to get all burnt. I don't want to. Okay, how about you take the ball, like the soccer ball, over to the field and you guys kick the soccer ball around for like an hour or two. I just want to sit here and watch TV. So 10 minutes of trying to nicely explain to the kids, hey, can you please leave the house? Please just leave the house. They weren't getting it. So I finally said to the oldest one, who was 15 at the time and should have gotten it, I said to her, listen, Dan and I are going to go upstairs and we're going to fuck. So you might hear some fucking noises upstairs. So if you don't want to hear those noises, you might want to take Mike and get the hell out of my house for like an hour and 45 minutes. And she's like, oh my God, why'd you have to be so blunt about it? And I'm like, I tried. I tried really hard, but you weren't getting it. So I had to be blunt and I had to explain to you, we're going to go upstairs and have sex now. So get out. So yeah, they left the house. that was a good day. But yeah, so homework for tonight. I'm guessing you can probably, figure out what the homework is for tonight. Sometime this week, take some time and talk to each other about, like, just get the conversation going about what do you like? Go ahead.
Mr. Burgundy, you have a massive erection.
I'm sorry. It's the pleats.
I knew you wanted to do it.
I just didn't want to cut you off.
You're good. But take some time to talk about things that you like, things that you want more of. Maybe talk about some changes you could make. Go to a sex or an adult store if you want. Talk about the frequency you're having sex, maybe the foreplay you're doing, any fantasies you have. Talk about some of that stuff. And hopefully that conversation will lead you into your bedroom where you can get it on.
Yes.
So hopefully next week, we're going to hear some comments from people saying, hey, things worked and we were able to do stuff. So try to make that happen for this week. So yeah, I think we have homework to do.
Yeah. It's probably about that time.
So we're going to let you go early today and we're going to get our homework done. And so you guys have an awesome, awesome week. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming in every week. And we will talk to you next week. Next week, we are going to be talking about the GOAT generation, which happens to be what?
Gen X.
Gen X. Ask any Gen X person and they will tell you who the GOAT generation is. It's us. So yeah, so next week we're going to talk about that. So you guys have an awesome week. We will see you next week. We love you so much. Thank you.
See you guys.